Awesome. Hello. We are back. We're ready to start Series 5. Make sure to check inside the chat, especially on Twitch. But there's all Series 1 through 4, all episodes are available on twitch.tv/time to tabletop and then youtube.com/time to tabletop. So if you want to catch up on what's going on, you can find out some of these relationships of these characters from the past, and then you'll know what's going on. Also, there'll be links popping up there in the Twitch chat to kind of show you the system that we're playing also. So every once in a while, you'll see Kids on Bikes popping in there so that you can kind of check that out also. But without further ado, we're going to give it right over to these guys and give it over to Michael. It's all yours, sir.
All right. Hello and welcome to Strange Generations, a nightmarish journey through the shadows of America, one generation at a time. And this generation is a new generation, the Coke generation. That's right. We are in the 1980s. This is the first part of a 3-part mini-series. We'll visit these characters as kids, more or less, and then we'll return more or less to the far future of 2020 to see what they're like after the events of this arc. So we'll get started in just a moment meeting these characters, and we'll do a quick kind of introduction to the setting. We'll see the relationships of these characters to each other, which is a cool thing that Kids on Bikes does to sort of build the game world even before the game officially begins, and then we'll get started. But first, let's meet the players and meet the characters. So we'll go around. Let me know who you are, who they're playing, and what their general vibe is. We can get kind of some idea of who we're working with before we start building those relationships. So we will start with Marvin.
So hey everyone, I'm Marvin, and I'm going to be playing a discount Marty McFly, I would say. His name's Walter Grimson. And as a high school kid, he's basically trying to figure out where his way in life is going to be. But he's found, one outlet that might get him on the right path. He's working for this old kook named Jordan Mays, I think. Who knows? He might be a doctor or something. Old occult guy, but he's hired Walter to be his assistant for the summer. It's basically pays him by the hour. It's say about, what was the minimum wage in 1980 something?
Very low, like $3 or something.
Yeah, pays him $3 an hour to basically keep an eye on his lab, all the books and stuff. So Walter is basically looking out for Jordan's lab at the moment and learning all this weird occult stuff. Not that Walter really cares or anything. It's just here earning a little bit of money. Hopefully they'd get his way out of his house and maybe take that one girl he's had his eye on for a while out on a date. You know, typical high school stuff.
Ooh.
Not going to be any weird supernatural shenanigans.
By the way, I was really close. In 1984, minimum wage was $3.85.
Damn, that sucks.
Well, I mean, what it is right now is also way too low. Raise it, please. Somebody. It's a tragedy. Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marvin. So, besides that, the average high school student is going to be joined by a character played by Nick. Nick, let's hear about your character.
All right. So my character is going to be James Thompson. He is a typical jock football player, just barely scrapes by with his grades, just enough so that he can play the big game. Basically all he's working towards is getting to the top of the NBA and the NFL. Wow. This shows you how much I know about sports.
Oh man.
Gonna join them New York Giants.
Yes, let's hope my also horrible lack of knowledge about football doesn't come into play here. Touchdown. That's something, isn't it? All right. Well, please, we'll figure it out. Feel free to correct me. Joining us as well, very happy to have him here. It is Dallas.
Hey everybody, I'm Dallas. I'm bringing in Dang Tran, also known as Donovan. Donovan's a very hardworking sophomore. In all fashions, he's got to keep up things at school, so then therefore he can try to hopefully do something that he wants to outside of home life. He's expected to be dedicated very much to be family and to work hard, but he's got aspirations to get out west and try to make it big in film. Constantly watching his favorite stars at home when he can, emulating them, trying to build a style of his own. He's a total nerd at heart. You know, anything that involves the idea of martial arts in any format just has him going, because he's expected to be, you know, in medical school in the next few years, and he's working towards it, but man, he's trying to avoid it.
All right, very cool. Well, this is certainly it's a good time for cinema. I got to say that. And rounding us out, very happy to be joined by Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat, and I'm playing Ms. Tara Winklevoss, the lone adult out of the crew. She's a high school guidance counselor. I'm going to try really hard to not just play her as the stereotypical out-of-touch high school guidance counselor, but there'll be at least some of that. She's originally from Rivermont, Maine, which has been featured in previous adventures. And because of it, she has a little bit of a distinct look. Her eyes are a bit too wide apart. And she always wears gloves because people find it unpleasant to shake her hand due to the fact that her skin tends to be kind of clammy all the time. But still, you know, she's trying. She's in her late 20s, and this is one of her first big jobs out of graduate school. She went to Smith College, and she is a lesbian. And those two things aren't necessarily connected, but yeah. She is trying her best to not let that slip at the school because, you know, it's the 80s and it's still not great in that regard. And even though it's technically illegal to fire her for being gay from a public school, it's still, they could find ways around it. So, yeah, she tries her best to cover that up. She lives in a spooky witch's house with her longtime friend.
All right.
Who's local to the area, and I'm blanking on her name right now. I know her last name's Wait. I'm going to look it up and write it down before we proceed.
Okay, well, I think we have 4 amazing characters that are going to be in the town of Crescent Bay, New Jersey. Let me go ahead and read a quick intro, get everybody kind of in the right headspace, and then we'll start seeing the relationships between these characters. All right. Oh, and this episode is, of course, entitled, let me see if I can cover up my, there we go, Satan's Underground. Yeah. It's morning in America, a new dawn after the darkness and decay of the 1970s. Mainstream America has chosen a new path: conformity, conservatism, and conspicuous consumption, all personified by the senile cowboy in the White House. But even this false light creates endless shadows. While the economy booms and good times roll for some, countless others find their American dreams destroyed by the scourge of a shredded social safety net, a brutal and pointless war on drugs, and a deadly disease unchecked because of prejudice and hatred, to say nothing of the omnipresent threat of nuclear war. These evils spawn strange fears. Blade-wielding slashers in the movie theaters, cutting down teenagers who stray out of line, satanic cults seeking out the souls of the innocent through heavy metal music and role-playing games. But in the all-American small suburban bedroom community of Crescent Bay, New Jersey, some of these nightmares will come to life. All right. So let's go ahead and start seeing how these characters know each other. We'll start with Walter, and we'll see how he relates to these other three characters. So once again, Kids on Bikes, this great system where you let me know if you know the character and like them, know them and dislike them, or don't really know them but know of them. And Crescent Bay, it's a bedroom community in New Jersey. Most people, if you're in the, you're white collar, upper middle class, you'll commute to a bigger city to work, but it does have a pretty decent, more blue collar population that's around town. But still, the place is small enough that most people do know each other. So let's go ahead and start with Walter Brimson and James. So Walter, do you think you know James and like him, know him and dislike him, or don't really know him but have heard of him maybe? What do you think?
So Walter, I think James is going to be the typical jock meathead. And yes, Nick, as soon as I heard the word jock, I was going to make you biff. So sorry,
Perfectly
Matt.
fine with me. He's dumb enough for it.
Oh man, he's shouting out Brimson. All right, sounds like character negative.
Yeah, I was going to go with negative.
Okay, so you're gonna roll a d20, and we'll kind of see what happens here.
Okay, 16.
Ooh, how far would you go to make this character suffer?
Oh,
This is a rough one. We can skip it and you try another. But this could be interesting.
I would think that one day James just got Walter really angry. Something he did, whether it was bullying or I don't know, man. But one day Walter went into Doc Maze's stocks and got a book of his and was reading on something to curse other people.
Whoa.
I doesn't exactly know if it worked or anything, but the thought. It's the thought that counts.
Very intense. Maybe he made him lose the big game or something. Missed that pass. Ugh. All right. How about Walter and Donovan?
I think Walter knows Donovan, seeing him around the school and everything. Don't know if they really hang out too much, but seems like a friendly sort of fellow. What do you think, Bells?
If you go to like after school clubs, and you hang out and do like I don't know, things for like the campus. I'm always in like after school study groups, and which involve like like campus things, game things.
So if it's after school things, then they probably wouldn't run into each other too much. Walter's got the after school job at the lab, so unfortunately it'd probably be don't really know him too much.
Right.
Okay, give me the neutral one. That's all right.
Just a classmate or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a d20 roll.
15.
15. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. It might not make for this though. Why are so many townspeople afraid of this character?
Right, of Donovan?
Yeah, I don't know if that one makes sense. Do you want to give another roll?
I'll give it another roll. Yep.
Okay.
2.
Ooh, this one's good. Why do some members of the town seek out this character?
Seek out Donovan?
Yeah. What is like maybe as a special talent or knowledge?
Donovan's supposed to be really smart, isn't he?
Decently smart.
And he's
Yeah,
involved.
I am. I just don't play into it. Let's put it that way. It's not my top.
Gotcha. But you're involved in all these after school things, so you probably know what's going on around the school.
Yeah, I probably could point you in the right direction or tell you who's in charge of what or something like that. Because
Yeah. The guy to go to if you want to know what's happening around the high school.
I like that. He's got the knowledge of the goings on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then how about Walter? I think that sums up Walter and Donovan. How about Walter and Miss Tara?
All right, the school counselor. Hmm. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know if Walter would really go to a counselor too often, but maybe. Actually, I got an idea. Maybe he goes to Miss Tara to try and figure out a way out of the town because Walter really wants to move out of his house, move on to his life, move on with his life. That's why he accepted the job with Jordan. So maybe he talks with Miss Tara a lot to figure out, hey, I want to plan out my life from this moment. How do I get to where I want to be? Where do I go? What do I do?
Right. How can
Does
I
that make any sense?
leave this town behind? I like it. Okay. So for positive, go ahead and roll a d20, and we'll see what we get with that one.
Gotcha. 6.
Ooh, this one could be cool.
Mhm.
What role did this character play in the best day of your life?
Best day of his life.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a huge role, but it could be something.
Ah, I got it. Hey, Kat, what would you say that Miss Tara actually encouraged Walter to ask out that one girl he's had a crush on for the longest time?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think it's healthy to have relationships in high school, you know? You just don't want to have it define your entire life. By the way, I've been thinking a lot about it, and I think if you can just get your grades up a little bit, you might want to start considering applying to MIT.
But Miss Tara, I got the job and everything's the only way I can earn money right now. I mean, I can't let down the doc.
I know, but just, maybe he can help you out with some of your science and math homework. I just think based off what your interests are, I don't want you to hold yourself back. Shoot high, and MIT or Caltech are really the two schools that I think would be the best for your future.
MIT?
Mm-hmm. Well, you're interested in science, aren't you?
It's more of a... The doc's lab isn't science per se. It's more weird occult stuff, casting magic on people.
Oh, I see.
And
see.
aliens.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Then you should go to Cornell or Duke.
Oh. Cornell or Duke. Hey, works for him.
Especially Duke. It's supposed to be haunted.
That
Whoa.
actually sounds pretty cool.
I love Miss Tara's good advice.
Yeah. That's great advice.
All right. Okay, so I think that covers everybody for Walter. Got some not so good, neutral, and then a good relationship. Let's move on to James. All right, so let's see.
Alrighty.
So James and Walter is negative from Walter's perspective. James, what do you think? Do you think it's also negative, or?
I think he's just sort of neutral to him. He actually mostly just goes along with whatever the rest of the team does. He's not exactly the smartest cookie. So if the rest of the guys are picking on old Brimson there, I'll join in the fun. Maybe I'll get something out of it. Who knows?
Yeah, I can see that. You don't even rate a mention in his mind.
Just another nerd to bully.
Mm-hmm. All right, so James, go ahead and roll a d20 for character you don't know.
3.
Oh boy, this one could be very interesting. What wonderful thing did this character do that the whole town was talking about? So Walter did something good for Crescent Bay. What do you think he did? He's like an enterprising kid about town. He's got big dreams.
And also knows occult stuff.
He's some knowledge.
I'm not entirely sure. So it's just basically a positive thing that he did for the town as a whole.
Could it organize some kind of a charity drive that saved a beloved local business, or you have to paper route going for a long time?
It's more from Marty McFly. So, I would say I don't know. Would you say like he started up like a local like I don't want to say like a boys club or something like that, but like something for like kids to hang out at, or a place like that.
I got something.
All right, we do have the arcade in town that is kind of a hanging out spot. Maybe Walter helped. But what, Walter? You think you have an idea?
I do have an idea, if it works for you, Nick. Opens up a section of the public library for old legends and myths around the town
Ooh, I
for
love
anyone to, look at. Even you, James. No, reading a book would do you good.
that. All right.
I think you're muted, Nick.
Sorry, I'm talking with family for a second. Give me a sec. Sorry.
Hey, no problem.
Oh, no worries. All right. Well, I do like that. I think that covers Walter and James. Maybe Nick's a little bit busy. We can swing over to Donovan for one or two, and we can pop back. It's okay to mix it up a little. I guess while we're on Walter, let's have Donovan and Walter. So Walter doesn't really know Donovan. What about Donovan and Walter? You think they know each other? What do you think, Dallas?
I think that I would definitely know who he is, because I'm involved in a lot of clubs, and different people meet up, share stories and whatnot. So I'm not sure how like outgoing Walter is, because he's quite busy.
Mhm.
But it doesn't seem like he's a closed off person completely. But I'm not sure like how like how much he really interacts. Let's say I would definitely know of him. It would be in a better manner. I just don't know if I could put the good to it, but I would definitely not go below neutral. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, but I'm not sure if he's involved in anything else that we'd be in, other than like a typical class.
All right.
Yeah,
let's-
once again, a bit too busy with the job.
Let's roll neutral and see what we get.
Roger. 17.
Okay. Ooh, this could be kind of dark. What do you hope to learn about this character to manipulate them? Do you want to do that one, or should we try another?
Geez. Unless Walter has an in with maybe some girls that Donovan's trying to talk to, because he has the worst chances right now with that. He does not have good faith. That would be the only thing he'd be maybe like trying to weasel a friendship out of. But I don't know if he'd be even down for that. That doesn't sound like.
Wants Walter to be his wingman.
Yeah, if that. I don't know if I would be like. The way it's worded,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty hard. It's pretty strong. Let's put it that way.
It is very strong.
I would hope for the wingman effect, if anything. That's what I would try to be hoping for. Out of especially
Maybe he
James.
like maybe Donovan knows Walter here's pals with this one occult scientist and everything. So maybe he can figure out, hey, do you know anything you could cast on me that will help me get a date? Something like that.
Or just become more star-like. Yeah,
Become more popular.
that's star power. That's what I'm trying to get.
I mean, there's an 80s sci-fi fantasy comedy in that one for sure. All right. So let's swing back to James. We'll do James and Donovan. Well, we're on the Donovan subject, and then we'll kind of keep it rolling along. All right. So James, do you know Donovan exists? You dislike him, or you do like him? What do you think?
I mean, so Donovan is just sort of like this kid who's good at everything.
Well, he's good at academics.
He's good at academics and sort of.
He's
Um,
also in the AV club because he's cool. Donovan, don't let anybody ever tell you you're not cool.
All right. But he does sort of like hang out at like the community centers and stuff, right?
I'd say so.
Okay. You know what, just for the fun of it, let's just have, I think if Dallas is okay with this, I think they secretly hang out with each other,
Oh,
like
okay.
at the arcade or something like that. Yeah.
All right, they could swing by. And the arcade, by the way, is, let me get my my summary real quick so we know all the different locations around Crescent Bay. Yeah, the Lost Galaxy Arcade and Pizza Parlor. All right, so okay, James, go ahead and roll a d20 and let's check the positive one.
Sure.
Oh, so yeah, Walter sometimes appears at the arcade, he's saying.
Sometimes. Okay.
Of course, the guidance counselor, probably not the biggest Dragon Quest fan.
Well,
The
I think it's
Pac-Man
kind
head.
of. I think it's inappropriate for the children to see me in such a context.
Yeah, that's fair.
The counselor
Top
playing
score
video
player,
games.
7%.
Perish
Oh, yeah.
thought.
I think that's sort of like where we got connected. Like, I was watching Donovan like killing it on one of the machines, and I was just like, dude. And I think we somehow got on like some sort of subject that we both clicked on. So
I like that. All right, so what do you get for the positive one?
I got an 18.
Okay. This one is romantic. Well, it says, when did you first realize you loved this character, either
I love
platonically or
platonically.
romantically?
Oh, it's a bromance.
Okay.
I like a
Um,
romance.
Go for it.
Let's see here. So Donovan's whole deal is just sort of like he's really into those like martial arts movies, right? Yeah. Okay. So I think with the whole thing with like it started off with just sort of like the whole idea that he's watching the top scores of the machines, and like he was like, oh dude, this kid's actually kind of good at cheating. Pardon my French. But and then I think I noticed at one point he was watching one of the movies and was like emulating like perfectly. He was just like, what the heck is with this kid? I think I want to hang out with him. So I think I slowly started watching these movies more and more, and then like even when Donovan was, and it was just like we sort of like got this whole connection within these movies.
No, many a great bromance and romance has been born of a love of video games and martial arts flicks. So that makes total sense. All right, and then how about James and Miss Tara? You think he is kind of friendly towards the guidance counselor, maybe not a big fan, or doesn't really? Maybe he visits another guidance counselor. There can be more at the school.
I think with Miss Tar, I think with sort of like the guidance counselor, James is sort of thinks he's got his life figured out. He's going to like get a scholarship, get a football scholarship to college, and then go on to the NFL. He's got it all figured out, and like Miss Tara just keeps like trying to give him more options. He's like, nah, man,
Football scholarship
dude.
on the way.
Yeah.
So kind of a negative one then.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't be super harsh negative, but
Yeah.
you know, maybe she's always on his case and she just needs to get off it. Ooh, okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 and we'll see if we can work this.
CX.
Oh, this one's interesting. What is this character doing either knowingly or unknowingly that hurts you?
Hmm.
I can think of something, but
Um.
All right, Miss Tara, let's hear your
Yeah. What,
well,
Yeah.
I think she's anytime you bring up about like your plans for the future is all football. She always says like, but maybe you should set a more realistic goal for yourself, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, ooh.
oh.
How do you feel about that? I don't think you'd like her after that.
Hmm.
And she definitely would tell you that too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, kind of puncturing those big dreams. Okay, yeah, that could cause some hate. I see that. All right, James, think that about that covers it there.
Probably.
Okay. So let's roll ahead to Donovan. We already got Donovan and Walter. Let's try. We know Donovan and James are buds, but let's see how that is from Donovan's perspective.
Okay. No, I'd say it's the same. Anybody that connects with him on a genuine thing that he's totally into, it's not because it's a study club after school or because someone's trying to get tips on how to finish homework properly or something like that. Yeah, that probably never comes up in our conversations whatsoever. So
I think it was sort of like it happened like once or twice, and Donovan just completely shut it down. And after that, he was like James was just like, all right, fine.
I would try to avoid it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean they have another shared love, so that makes sense to me. All right, go ahead and roll a d20.
16.
Ooh, this is kind of intense. What would losing this character mean to you?
Literal hours of discussion that is meaningless to other people, but straight gold to someone who appreciates it. And not just the conversation, but it's probably both ways. There's no doubt that James has, shown Donovan some prowess in some way or something like that, or just some swagger, literally, on campus, just been like, what I just talked to them. He's like, but I don't know how, so there's there's the awe the other way, I would say.
No, that really makes sense. I can definitely see that, it's a solid friendship there. All right. And then how about Donovan, Miss Tara? I think it's positive, neutral, like you have met her maybe once or twice, but not really.
I would say
negative.
no, best relationship probably ever. Only because he's probably a dream compared to for like a lot of teachers and guidance counselors.
Oh yeah.
But he spends his time just like being honest with Miss Tara. He's like, I don't have to talk to you about my courses. Here's my sheet, I already filled it out. Like, please make sure that that's input. If it's not, email me and I'll send you another one for another alternate course selection or something like that. So he hopes that she can figure out a plan where he might make like a dual major work or something like that, where he can like literally do like theater arts and other things at the same time, because he's afraid to put it on his schedule.
All right, that makes total sense. He's a student you want to have. All right, go ahead and roll a d20.
15. Interesting rolls tonight so far.
Ah.
17,
Oh, this could be
15.
fun. What do you and this character have a mutual weird love of? I mean, we know Donovan's a film buff. Maybe Miss Tara is too. And
she's
What do we
willing, she's either willing to take the time to watch like things in like the subtitles text that like other people won't like ever watch, or maybe she'll eat the same like weird dish that I bring in from my home that no one else would touch.
I'm a very adventurous eater compared to most other people.
Awesome.
And also, I do very much like, I understand that you enjoy these martial arts films, but have you ever considered the works of Akira Kurosawa? I think you'd find them very enlightening.
Do you mean the guy who makes the old films?
Yes, but they're about samurai, which are a type of, it's martial arts, but also Shakespeare.
whoa.
If you say so. I'll try to see if there's one that I can check out at Blockbuster. Is that around yet? No, sorry, I might have jumped the gun on that one.
It's out in a few states for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, no.
And probably
Hollywood
New
Video.
Jersey.
Yeah,
Alas,
Is a
poor
thing, I'm
Blockbuster.
sure. Wow. Well, I know. So maybe she get to get a more wide-ranging appreciation of cinema from Miss Tara. Very cool. All right. So I think that that covers Donovan. Let's move on to Miss Tara.
Sure.
So let's start with Miss Tara and Walter.
Sure. Well, Walter's a lovely, and I think he has a really good head on his shoulders. Honestly, it's nice to see a student so dedicated to future plans.
Yeah, they have a pretty solid relationship.
Hmm. I like to
all
think I have a positive relationship with almost all the students that come to me.
Well, you always hope, and most of the time you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll the d20 for the positive with
Sure.
Walter. Let's do it.
It's a 2.
2. Okay. Oh, this could be good. What do you admire about this character but would never tell them?
I really admire his sense of wonder in that he believes in things like ghosts and spirits and boogeymen. I don't believe in anything like that. I mean, obviously, other than the fish god, which is completely real, and I would not tell anybody about around here.
Ooh,
Um, But all the scary things that go bump in the night. But probably I'm also a little bit nervous for him to find out about where I'm from, considering the reputation of where I'm from.
Yeah, that's definitely worth keeping secret, I think.
Mm-hmm. But
All
sorry, I
right.
forgot what the initial question was. What do I find?
What do you
Well,
admire but will never tell him?
Yeah, so I admire his dedication to finding out about the supernatural. But yeah, I think I will say it's officially she won't tell him because she's worried about finding out her connections to it. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, totally.
So I retract the idea that she doesn't believe in it because I just remembered she's from Fish People Land. She definitely knows it's real, but she doesn't want to let him know that she knows. So if she was to tell him, she would be like, "Oh, spirits and stuff. It's an interesting hobby, but it's not real."
I don't know. A lot of Doc Maze's notes mention this one thing called Abraxas for some reason. Don't know why.
Interesting. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Makes furious notes.
Okay. How about Miss Tara and James?
Well, I'm not supposed to dislike students.
Oh,
He's just so stubborn.
the football thing. All right, let's go ahead and roll in the negative one.
Okay. Also a 2. Just get all these 2s out of my D20 system.
Oh, this one could be interesting. What secret are you keeping from this character that you would be devastated if they found out?
that the reason that I'm so discouraging towards him playing football is that he's not good at football.
Oh,
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 he just doesn't have what it takes to.
He decidedly,
Take
like,
that
she would
field
very
goal.
much encourage him to do it if he had any potential, which he does not.
Oh
He's
man.
actually a pretty big football fan. Go Patriots! But yeah, he really should focus on studying or a sport he's good at. But how do you say that to a student?
I know it's you can't. James, you never had the makings of a varsity
oh
athlete.
man.
Oof. All right.
I mean, he's very small also. I mean, compared to, have you seen the size of Refrigerator Perry?
Oh, refrigerator
God.
Perry. I mean, why does the rest of the team even show up?
I mean, he's
That
huge
guy-
compared to most of these students, but
Yeah,
compared to
that guy
somebody
takes the field.
in the NFL,
Yeah.
oh my sweet summer child, no.
Oh.
Okay.
But I would never tell him that.
Just think
So
it.
apparently it's canon now that James is a lot smaller than he is in my head. All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, but he's football small. That's
Still
still
bigger than me.
He'd still be
Still bigger
he'd
than me.
still be big compared to these people. It's just compared to like a pro football player.
Right.
You're not.
No,
like
that's something that he
6'6"
works
or
on all the
something.
time.
Yeah.
Like I will say he is one of his flaws is he is boastful. So I don't know if maybe that's sort of maybe his brain is not big enough for.
Mm. All right, and then we know that Miss Tara and Donovan do have this kind of this bond.
Oh yes,
over-
I'm very positive about Mr. Tran.
Yeah, so I think pretty positive. Okay, go ahead and roll, and we'll see where that one leads.
Number 6.
Okay.
The only thing that I personally find to be negative for Mr. Tran is his parents, who really seem dedicated to him being a doctor. And he doesn't have an interest in that. But I think he could easily go to a prestigious undergrad, like a Harvard or a Yale, and then proceed to graduate school at NYU or UCLA to pursue his dream.
I do think we did 6 earlier. That's the best day one. So
Oh, okay, I'll roll it again.
let's mix it up and try another one.
9. It's 6 the other way around.
Oh, and also very true. And this is a good one. What is the kindest thing this character has ever done for you?
He knows that I am gay, and he has not revealed it to the powers that be.
Okay, I do like that. That deepens the relationship for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. All
Because
right.
he saw me kissing Angela.
Okay, so Angela is your girlfriend.
Wife. I mean,
Okay.
technically not my wife. We're very close friends.
Right, but it's that kind of like, it's a forever kind of thing.
Yeah, we own dogs together.
He
Okay.
gets it. He's quite happy because, he has no connection like any of you do with a relationship. So he's quite happy for you too.
Mm. All right. So we'll start. It is now. We're going to start with some kind of individual scenes before sort of bringing everyone together. So right now it's kind of in the after school times at Crescent Bay High, this very large, sprawling high school, junior high complex. It's definitely big, like, hefty campus, lots of, it's East Coast, so everything's indoors. But big, sprawling buildings, got a pretty decent athletic center, good guidance counselor staff too, of course. But the last bell has rung, and there's still lots of school stuff going on. You got some practices, some after-school clubs. However, we're going to cut into the arcade, the Lost Galaxy Arcade and Pizza Parlor, with where Donovan has just arrived. It's the usual, after-school hangout zone for a lot of kids. And right now, you got a pretty good crowd. Some lines over some of the various games. People got to put their quarters down to mark their spots, of course. And you better have that stack full if you want to work your way through get your name on the high score list, as I think Donovan does. So Donovan, what game do you think you're playing when you are when you meet Anthony Goglio when he stops by to see you?
Probably just keeping up my pace with Galaga, just because pattern games are like my bread and butter. I go to the arcade with less quarters than I think I'll need every time to challenge myself, because my parents will also expect me to have money on hand when I need it. And
Okay.
pizza here is amazing, so I have to get a slice like every time.
Oh, you can't beat it. All right. So you are soon joined by Anthony Goglio. He's like a seventh grader at the accompanying junior high. And seventh grader and a sophomore hanging out. A little odd, perhaps, but this Anthony, he's got a line on, like, he's got the best comics. He's got the best role-playing games. He can always get the most hard to find VHS that you can throw in there.
I was just gonna say, his conversation is always something that I'm just like, what, where, who, how did you know of this? What are you please tell me more. Where did you get these things? How did you get these things? As I'm just like literally like, like talking to the screen, moving the joystick, hitting the buttons, only looking at him like for a moment when he says like the new title of something. He's like, oh yeah, this happens in it, or you can do this.
So he's like kind of a scrawny kid with like dark hair and like some big glasses, big braces. He's wearing like an X-Men shirt. He pops up next to you and he's like, Donovan, I got it.
Please tell me you're not joking this time. Not that you ever
No.
joke, really. You always deliver, but I mean, the thing.
Oh, my man, I have the thing. I got a copy of Oswald Bueller's Shadow Sentinels.
Whoa. All right, that's it. I'll take that loss. Show me.
Oh, well, not here. We have to step into my I was gonna say Chamber of Secrets, but that's a Harry Potter thing. That will come out a little bit. We gotta step into my Fortress of Solitude, aka my room. But hey, don't worry. We got plenty of time tonight. My parents are gonna be out of town. My big brother's gonna have some of his like doofus friends over for some party. But it's the perfect opportunity to bust out Shadow Sentinels for the first time.
Yeah, your brother might invite some interesting people too.
They're a bunch of jagoffs.
You're right. They probably won't play, but yeah. I'm there.
All right. I just got look. I know you're cool, but like my parents, they got the whole like the kind of the Catholic religious thing, and I mean I kind of have to keep even the D&D a secret because like that's a tool of the devil or something.
Oh, just tell them when I get on my report card every semester, and they'll probably let me in.
No, they're gonna be out of town, so no need to even worry. No need
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't mention a thing ever.
I'm just saying, like, Shadow Sentinels, it's like it's the forbidden RPG. Like the game's got a reputation. So like if they found out that like I was playing that one in their house, like I'd be dead.
If my parents found out I even knew about that stuff, I'd probably be banished from all extracurricular activities.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. So we know we'll keep it secret, top secret.
Dude,
All right, sweet. Well, I'll swing by at around 8 or so, and it'll be Shadow Sentinels time.
Oh, yes. And I do like some quick aerial punches.
And he of course does the blah 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 blah. Responding to it.
Awesome.
Ooh. All right. So with Shadow Sentinels set for the evening, let's move ahead and see what Walter does after school, which is swinging by the laboratory of Dr. Mays out in Westdale, kind of the more sort of hilly less economically secure part of the town. So Marvin, Jordan is actually like, this is your character from our last arc.
Yep.
So what do we think his laboratory looks like, and what does he look like?
So Jordan has grown a beard, kind of a wild beard
Oh, I love
that
it.
you would think a crazy conspiracy theorist would grow. Except, as we have proven in the last game, everything Jordan says is right in some way. So I would think Walter is going up to the lab to present some notes Jordan had him to research on the other day. So, hey, Doc Mays, you there?
Ah! Walter, come on in. Come on in. Oh, thank God you showed up when you did. Something
Like-
big is coming. Something bad.
Why, what's up?
It's bad news, Walter. It's aliens. Aliens.
Again?
Oh, it's always aliens. But yes, look over here. And he is like some weird kind of crystal ball looking thing where you can see electrical sparks zapping and humming inside.
You know, the more I see about this thing,
Colors. Oh, sorry. So go ahead, Walter.
the more I see this thing, the less I'm surprised you're able to see into it. Like, actually see things into it.
If you've seen what I've seen, well, your horizons would have been expanded severely.
Definitely takes a crazy person, that's for sure.
Oh, I only wish I was crazy, and soon perhaps so will you. There's going to be a vast outpouring of Abraxinian energy tonight in this very town.
Abraxas?
Oh, yes.
The old fish guy?
Oh, he's more than that. He's the mad god at the center of the universe. He's, someone's trying to make some sort of a deal with him, accepting one of his tendrils, his gifts. It happened before in the 70s, outside of New Hookton. Did you ever hear of the Covey affair, the Covey business? Of course not. The government, they covered it up. But some bits might have come through. What, did you hear about it?
Well, I kind of read a couple of your notes about it, Doc.
Yeah, I was there, you know. I mean, I've told you this before.
Yes, you've told me this before.
I'll
keep
tell you it
repeating
again. Someone tried to summon Abraxas to like take him over, some kooky cult leader. We one of our team members, well, you probably heard her music. She smooched him and shoved a grenade in his mouth, and that was the end of him.
Yeah,
But
a lot of
anyway.
your stuff gets very violent, Doc.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, I played my part too, of course. But this time I'm gonna need you to go and scout ahead. Here, take this. And he puts this this backpack with like all this electrical equipment into it. And there's like kind of a rod with a coiled wire that connects to the back of it. This is the Abraxas Assimilator.
Okay, and I assume it, what does it do?
It should be able, well, in the future, I may be able to allow it to actually combat the Abraxas creatures. For now, it detects their presence. Think of it as a Geiger counter for the unholy, extra-dimensional demons that are soon going to be infesting this town. You'll press that little button there, and it will emit a handy beep, and you can follow it, and it should be able to get you closer to Abraxas energy.
And Walter presses the button and immediately just points it at the doc, just to test a theory.
Ah, you're after my own heart, Walter. Brilliant. Thankfully, I'm not
Okay.
corrupted yet.
Okay,
I
that,
am. You must... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Walter.
that kind of puts my heart at ease. Just wanted to know, Doc. No offense.
Right. Well, this will too. He gives you like a walkie-talkie.
Okay.
This should help us keep in touch. Now, I forget. Do you have a vehicle?
Bike?
Hmm.
That's about all I got.
I suppose that will do. All right. Well, go ahead, ride your bike around town, waving this device back and forth. I'll do my best to stay mobile myself. We'll keep in touch, and we'll see what we can find.
Right, Doc. Before I do all this to you, I consider you a friend and everything. I love working with you, but if you want me to do this, I want a raise.
How about $4 an hour?
$4 an hour? I wasn't going to go that high, but sure. Okay.
Worth every penny.
Oh, and I also got those notes you had me research the other day.
Oh, excellent.
Yep, the connection between Dungeons and Dragons and Satanism. Know what I found out, Doc?
Oh, yeah?
Nancy Reagan is full of shit.
Oh, very true. Well,
I'll get on that job for you.
all right, go for it, Walter. I'll be in touch.
Mhm.
Okay, so as Walter hops on his bike, pedals down into Crescent Bay itself, let's swing by to Miss Tara's office, which, it's after school, but students are still, of course, visiting to check in.
Sure.
And Miss Tara, you were visited by a student who was in your what's the word on your list of students that you're mentoring.
Mhm.
She is a sophomore, let's say, named Judith Cordero.
Okay.
Right. So you've had Judith, since her freshman year. You definitely like her. She's sort of an outcast, an outsider to the student body there.
Mhm.
She's a child of a single mother from Westdale, which already kind of puts her on the lower end of the school's totem pole. She doesn't really have that much money. Her family certainly doesn't, and she very much keeps to herself. She wears a lot of black, and lots of weird rumors about her. She likes animals, which also definitely not weird, of course, but in high school things like that can make you stick out, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So she comes into the office and she's looking really worried, like she's clutching her arm. She's kind of looking around, looking over her shoulder, maybe a little twitchy, very nervous about something.
Oh, are you okay, Miss Cordero? Did one of the students call you a les again?
No, it's not that. Thanks, Miss Tara. Can I close the door here?
Certainly.
Okay. And she sits down with you, and she's like, Miss Tara, you know what it's like to you think people are like a mystery, that they think you're a mystery that they're trying to solve. Do you know what that's like?
Sure. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I think
lately.
especially at your age, we all feel a little bit different.
Well, I get the feeling that there's some, and she gets real close. I think I'm being followed.
Who do you think's following you? That's a very serious thing.
Yeah, it's nobody here. But I think this is gonna sound really weird, but when I was taking the bus to school, there was this limousine that was rolling behind the bus. It's pretty weird in Westdale.
Mm-hmm.
But it was there, and I got off. So I got off. I walked for a little bit, and it was still following me. And then I spun around, gave it a good look, and it just kind of accelerated, went into some traffic, and drove away.
Well, that's certainly odd. Did you write down its license plate number?
I didn't really get a chance.
In the future, if there's any worry about stranger danger, you want to make sure to write down that license plate.
Okay. Miss Tara, this is gonna sound weird, but could I have your phone number so I could call you if something like that happens?
Sure.
Oh, thank you. My mom, she works nights, so she's not at the house that much, and it just
I
means
understand.
dogs that I kind of take care of. So
Sure. Well, I've liked you ever since that you volunteered for the Young Democrats on the Walter Mondale Geraldine Ferraro ticket. So, real shame
well-
about that. Guess America's not ready for a female vice president yet.
Yeah, well, apparently they're ready for a fucking fascist. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I feel the same way, except, less
Yeah.
swearing.
Oh, you're the best, Miss Tara.
Well, thank you. So here's the number. Okay. So
Oh,
if
thanks.
you feel like you're in danger, please do call.
All right, I will.
And if you have somewhere you need to run and you're not near the police, and I really need to stress that if you are near the police, run to the police. But if you aren't near the police, you can run to my house. It's the spooky house that all the kids, well, you were there when you were a volunteer.
Okay. As she gets ready to go, she's like, "Oh, and Miss Tara, I know, like, we're all, you talked about how you're all unique, but have you ever had the feeling that you're more unique than everyone around you?"
I used to feel that way until I went to Smith College, and then I met a lot of other girls that were a lot like me. And if you find that you like girls more than the other girls like girls, I would advise that you also go to Smith College.
Oh, and she gives you a big smile, and she's like, "Well, I think that's really helpful, and I'll definitely consider that. But I was thinking more in the terms of not in terms of who you like, but like what you are."
Ah, I see. Some of us are a little different than other people, but that's okay. You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Miss Tara. I'll see you later.
Sure. Have a good day. And remember, if you feel like you're in danger, either make it to the police or to my house.
All right, and she heads out with your number there.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll finally check in with James. So I will say, football practice. It's getting a little bit maybe later. Football practice just got out. The coach was once again giving you some real whistleblowing and be like, "Come on, Thompson, hurry it up." But you held your own. So you and Gregory Goglio, who is the quarterback on the team. So maybe some of the other football players are like, you already changed. You're heading back through the school halls, getting ready to head out. And Gregory kind of pulls you aside and some of the other team members aside to where his girlfriend, Bethany DeWitt, is. And he's like, "Hey, James, I gotta tell you, tonight, the rents are out of town at my place."
Nice, dude.
"Yeah, you thinking what I'm thinking?"
I'm gonna party it up, man.
"Hell yeah."
Why did I say man? That's weak. I'm talking like my dad. Oh man.
No, it's okay. You can talk how you want. I let a man drop into the words now and then. It's all right. Bethany is like rolling her eyes at this.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Anyway, I got in touch with Toad. Toad Tobble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like, the guy's a freak, but
Oh yeah, totally.
he's got access to some primo booze. He's gonna bring that on back."
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
And my little brother's still there, but he'll just be like in his room doing his weird role-playing shenanigans.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd stuff, whatever. So he won't bother us.
All right. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And Bethany's like, "Should be a good time, I guess, unless the bloody buck shows up."
That man. Bethany, why are you always going on about that? That's ancient history, dude.
He's like, "Hey, it's Crescent Bay High tradition." And like, we get into the anniversary of it. We gotta tell the tale.
Yeah, but if the dude was gonna show up, he'd have showed up by now.
Well, how do you know he still won't?
Nah.
Hey, James. Maybe he's you're gonna head out there. So maybe you head out into the locker room or something. You're getting ready, and you look in the hallway, and there he is, with that Letterman jacket, the mascot deer head, and that fire axe. just waiting to hack you to bits.
Gotta catch me first.
Gregory's like, well, look, if you run from him like you ran today, I'm pretty sure he will.
Hey, it was just an off day, dude.
All right, man. Hey, I'm just razzing you. No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Well, party should be starting at 8. You want to care to swing? But you care to swing by? Should be a good time.
Sounds like a plan, dude.
Okay, I'll see you there, man.
Kick your ass one of these days.
Not if I kick your ass first. All right, so we will leave these bros to their various activities, and we will cut ahead to the Gaglio household. So, this will kind of sum up what's going on at the party. All down the suburban street, without fear of noise complaint-driven policemen, conversation, laughter, joyous shouts, and pounding music herald that the Gaglio parents are out of town, and it's party o'clock for everyone invited. Numerous cars driven sneakily away from suburban homes line the block, and past the Easter decorations on the broad green lawn, including a gorilla-sized Easter bunny bobbing its head eternally. Teens revel in the sprawling McMansion outdoor pool. The first drops of spring rain disturb the water, but no one really cares. Especially not when Todd Tobble pulls up an ancient pickup truck loaded with kegs of beer. Upstairs, a different gathering occurs. Below Star Wars and X-Men posters, Anthony Gaglio reverently lays out the game board and dice from a sleek black box with simple white lettering. Oswald Bueller's Shadow Sentinels. The forbidden RPG is about to be played. All right, so we'll check in with Donovan here for a second before moving on to some of these other characters. All right, so Donovan, Anthony has he lays out this sort of almost like triangular kind of game board and a bunch of different obsidian colored dice. They're all D6s. I think they didn't even have D20s until in the 80s. I think that's a kind of almost recent invention, if I'm not wrong. I may have to brush up my role-playing game lore, perhaps. But he's giving you some of the character sheets and the pencils and stuff.
Oh, I'm in the instruction. Whatever description there is, I am reading it, just listening to whatever he's got to say. Yep.
Yeah. Anthony's backstory for this game, it's insane. They say that Bueller, when he was young, before he met Gary Gygax and all that, he was involved with some aliens or something.
What? No way.
No, I mean, he was I don't know if he was abducted or something like that, but visited Area 51. I don't know, maybe rode in the Millennium Falcon. It was weird though. I'm sure it was that.
Oh, that would be awesome. No way though. I mean, I get it. Somehow this stuff's got to come from somewhere, but
yeah, it inspired him. So that's why they say this game, I mean, D&D being linked to Satanism, that stuff that's some crazy chick-tracked bullshit. But this game, because Oswald Bueller experienced the occult, maybe he added bits of it into this game.
Well, if the rumors are true, we just have to roll to find out, right?
Yeah. So our characters are, the Shadow Sentinels who stand up against this alien god Abraxas and defend the Earth.
I'm in.
All right. So let's we got to do this opening roll, and this will say the level of involvement of Abraxas.
Ooh, okay. Cool. All right. So literal, it's happening. All right, gotcha.
All right. So you throw down those dice. And this thing weird. First of all, there's 3 of them, and it's 3 6s. And then as soon as they leave your hand, each one falls onto a certain square on the game board. They land like exactly in the squares.
I look just over at him, wide-eyed, like,
Yeah,
and then back to the
they
dice.
cannot do that. Anthony's like, no way.
First
Donovan.
roll.
Donovan, check the rule book. Like, what does that mean?
And then I think it'd probably be at the bottom, like maybe asterisks, top roll. It says something about like this strange wording here.
Well, I think as you read in, it says that it mentions that there's first of all, it shows that Abraxas, like the Abraxas energy, is extremely high.
Fully
And it
charged.
also mentions like it shows like what kind of villain is being conjured for this game. And the one that it refers to is called the Grim Huntsman.
Okay.
So
I
Anthony's
think we
like,
just unlocked one of the evilest of evils.
uh-huh.
So yeah, I guess I'll exclaim what the description is of the Grim Huntsman, because typically there's some kind of description, right?
Yeah. So it shows the Grim Huntsman. It's like in a similar category as the Earl King, of like a malevolent supernatural figure. But while the Earl King like hunts for its own enjoyment, the Grim Huntsman is like dispatched for a particular target. Even if it goes about getting that target in a roundabout way.
Okay.
Anthony's like, so it's like some kind of a bounty hunter?
I was just about to say, yeah.
It's pretty weird. And
Well,
Donovan, do you think maybe if there is some like real stuff this game is warning us about, should we tell my brother?
do you think he would listen?
I mean, he can be a dingus sometimes, but he's also kind of cool. Like, and he always takes care of me. He's when the parents are out, like, I gotta listen to Gregory.
No, don't get me wrong. I've never heard you say otherwise. I just never have seen him pull a real interest.
Yeah, but I just feel like,
especially when his other friends around. I wonder who else might be showing up that could be interested as well.
all right, well, let's go down and see, and maybe I'll tell him, and I think he might listen to you more than me. There was this one time there was this like noise outside our house, and I was 100% sure that it was like a serial killer or Michael Myers or maybe even E.T. or something. And I made him get up and go outside, and it was like a tree branch.
Middle of the night?
Yeah, I was in the middle of the night. Yeah, so maybe it's better if you tell him.
Oh, I bet he gave you bruises for that one.
Yeah, he was pretty pissed off.
Jeez.
All right, you can tell him.
I give him like the little wow to his shoulder, like I'm going to do it too. But I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll talk to him.
Ooh. All right, so as you guys head down, meanwhile, let's check in with Walter.
Mhm.
All right, so Walter, you're riding your bike around. Give me maybe a brains roll to see how well you can handle the Abraxas assimilator.
Right, the doc really didn't give me any notes on this thing, so let's see.
Yeah, he never does.
Okay, that explodes.
Whoa! Oh man! This is the first roll of the game, so that's
Right,
good.
17 altogether.
Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, with that, it's pretty easy to follow. You figure out how it works pretty well. It just makes kind of a gentle, like crackling, humming sound, and it takes you right outside the Goglio house.
That house. Yep. That's where most of the energy's coming from.
Yeah, so you're out on the lawn. They got the big Easter bunny decoration, some other Easter decorations up, and you can definitely tell like it's party time inside. Lights are on. You can see through the big like bay windows looking in the living room. Maybe they got some like Duran Duran blasting off the speaker system. Some beer, some Solo cups full of booze, some Jungle Juice are going around. Maybe you recognize a few of your classmates in there.
Maybe I could get into the party somehow. That or shimmy alongside the house. But no, the cops told me they'd actually put me in a cell for that again. All right, let's see if I can just knock on the door. See if I can get myself invited.
All right, so I will say you knock on the door, and James, you're inside. Maybe you're pretty close to the door. What do you think you're doing as the party's going on?
Let's see.
Oh, right. Mrs. Tara is saying that Van Halen would be a more realistic sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're jocks, they're playing Van Halen.
For sure.
I think James
playing an air guitar to the.
James would probably be a few cups in. He's tends to be a little. He's reckless in general, but like I think when he's just sort of having fun. He just so. But yeah, he's just sort of just hanging out with everyone else and just sort of maybe jamming a bit.
All right, so you're jamming out, and when you hear the knock on the door, and you see it creaking open a little bit. Of course, they left it unlocked, and you spot Walter over there.
With that weird thing in his hands.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Walter? Walter Brimson? What are you doing here?
Wait, did he open the door?
I think it's already open.
Oh.
Yeah, the
didn't
door
even
wasn't shutter locked, apparently.
They didn't
Yeah,
even
didn't
close the door.
Because 80s.
Oh yeah.
And party.
And of course I run into you, James.
What?
You all right, man? Or you already been hiding it a bit?
Hey, man, you should try some of this stuff, dude.
Can't really on the job.
Oh, what?
Speaking of which, can I come in?
I mean,
Gregory's like, yeah, why not? Come on in.
Cool,
all right, if
thanks,
the host says
Gregory.
so, sure. You do realize who this is, right, Gregory?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Walter Brimson around. He's been to school. He's in my class since I don't know, 3rd, 4th grade.
A little weird. All right.
Definitely. But whatever. Everyone's welcome.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not staying long. Just wanted to
Yeah,
check something out for the doc.
Oh man, you're still working for that weirdo who lives out in Westdale?
Yes, he's a weirdo, but he's a smart weirdo. And also, he's paying me, so I don't really give a crap.
Eh,
I mean, I hear that. Getting paid is kind of nice. Or you could just be like me and, have parents who do whatever you want. That's kind
Yeah,
of nice
good
too.
for you being born with a silver spoon in your mouth, man. Rest of us aren't so lucky. Isn't that right, James?
I mean, yeah, I guess Gregory's got it better than I do, but I think I can get by.
We'll see about that.
Mm.
Wonder if that curse worked. Okay. Now, back to why I was here. Mind if I do a sweep of the house, Gregory? Jot down a couple of notes.
That's pretty weird, man. Why are
As
you
I said, it's for the job.
for the job? I guess so.
And I'm not going to touch
Hey,
anything.
but only on one condition.
All right, name it.
You have a brewski with me.
Drinking on the job. Will anyone find
One. Just
out?
one.
It's
Yeah.
one, dude. It's one
Yeah,
beer.
But to be honest, I'd rather not. I mean, as weird as the doc is, I do have some standards, you know. Got to be professional about this. If I'm going to get
All
anywhere
right,
ahead.
well, go do your stupid job then, I guess, and just get out.
Okay, go back to your stupid drinks.
Ooh. All right. Well, with those harsh words exchanged, ooh, yeah, some shotgunning is definitely occurring for sure. And as
Yeah, I got to say, one of Walter's flaws is that he's hot-tempered.
ooh, yeah, I think so. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So while Walter is just starting to sweep the house, this is just when Donovan and Anthony come down the stairs. And just as Anthony's about to, get his brother's attention, we cut to Miss Tara's house. So, Miss Tara, what do you think you and Angela's? We know you live in a spooky house.
Well, the kids say it's spooky.
kids say,
I think it's charming.
Right. What's the decor of your home like? What do you think it kind of looks like in there?
It's got a lot of sort of tchotchkes. Like Angela's very into like those little Hummel kind of figurines.
High Hummel percentage.
Mm-hmm. I actually do cross stitching, so there's a lot of my cross stitches up. A lot of handmade Afghans. Cat hair. It's not actually a decoration. There's just a lot of it, and we just accept that by now.
Well, that's good. Always a few cats hanging around always brightens the place up.
We have cats, dogs. We have some birds. We have a lizard and a snake.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
It was a rescue snake.
I love it. All right. Well, while you are
I made it what you could either view as a sweater or a sock.
So what do you think you're doing on this kind of maybe later evening?
Well, I'm doing a cross stitch right now, and Angela is watching TV.
All right. So while this is going on, the phone next to you rings.
Hello.
Miss Tara? This
Yes.
is Judith on the other line.
Hi, Miss Cordelia. Are you in trouble? Do you need to come to the house?
Well, I might need you to come to me.
Okay.
I know we talked about like strange feelings about, other girls or women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that's okay.
All right.
Yeah, but and I'm cool with that. But this is something else.
Sure.
I have this need that I gotta like go to Gilded Oaks, which is kind of not it's pretty far from Westdale, but it's where I gotta go. And I gotta go to this is gonna sound really weird. I need to go to Greg Goglio's house.
Okay. Well, I want to let you know that I'm not just giving kids rides to a big party.
No, it's not that. I can get there myself. I know the bus routes pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's having I heard that there was a party there, but I wasn't invited. But I don't want to go for the party. I keep on having these feelings, we talked about earlier, being really unique, more unique than unique.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a part of mine is I'm having these feelings that unless I'm there, something really bad is going to happen.
Okay. Well, I'll take you to the party. Just because I don't want you traveling around by yourself.
You're sure?
Sure. If you need me to come with you. And she can see Angela's being giving her this death glare, you do way too much for these stupid kids. It's fine. Okay, just tell me where you are right now, and I'll come pick you up. Okay?
All right. I'm over at the 7-Eleven in Westdale. So.
All right. I'll pick you up, and I'll take you there. I've got to tell you, I'm going to be kind of a buzzkill on that party because if I see underage drinking,
Oh, well, maybe you don't need to go in then. I mean, I'm already like uncool enough showing up to a party with my guidance counselor.
it's not going to be great for your social life. No.
Yeah, but look, so you know, this is serious. I really didn't think something bad was going to happen. I wouldn't be doing this.
Okay, that's fine. I'll come pick you up. Do you like the Dead Kennedys?
Oh, love them.
Great. Okay, then I'm not going to change out the cassette that's in the car. I'll be right there. And she hangs up.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So Miss Tara's zooming over to pick up Judith, and
yeah, she is in an almost inexplicable muscle car.
Very cool. So as you guys are blasting, I don't know.
Well, it was either that or to take the pickup truck. Either way, Miss Tara's worked on them.
Ooh, I love how Miss Tara is also a gearhead.
Oh yeah.
So as
Cat
you're
isn't
blasting,
though, so
as you're blasting, I don't know, bedtime for democracy or something. You pick up Judith. You start driving back out of Westdale to Gilded Oaks, which is the most exclusive neighborhood in Crescent Bay. Lots of these big McMansions. And you guys arrive outside the Goglio house. You can see that it's like, the party's over there in full swing.
Have you ever been to San Francisco? I think you'd really like it.
Oh, I would love that. I've been to New York a couple times. And
I mean, New York's great, especially Park Slope, but you have to go to San Francisco.
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to hang out with some of these guys.
Oh, it's bitchin' awesome. Wow. But when she sees the house, she's like, ugh. Okay, so you see that Easter Bunny decoration?
Uh-huh.
All right, now, this is going to sound really weird. I've seen that before, but I've never been here, like, before. I've seen it, like, in my head, in my mind's eye, but this is the first time I'm seeing it, like, in the flesh.
Do you know Mr. Walter Brimson, by any chance?
Yeah, he's in my homeroom.
I think the two of you should talk at some point.
Oh, okay. And then she hesitates and she's like, something else though about that Easter Bunny. When I saw it before, it didn't have a head.
Now, is this Easter Bunny like plastic?
Yeah. It's a decoration. It's got a little, some basics animatronics that make it kind of bob its head a little bit.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. Miss Tara, do you want to, I mean, I hate to ask you to do this. You want to come inside with me, or would you rather stay out here?
Are you worried that's going to make you look square?
I mean, I almost guarantee it will, but I do kind of want you to be close to me just in case. I really don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Okay.
All right. So, Judith and Miss Tara arrive at the door. They're kind of knocking on it. And we'll just a little right before they arrive at the house, Donovan comes down. So, Donovan, James, you look up, you see your pal there. You probably gone through some. Oh, yep, lots of underage drinking that Miss Tara sees, which she's going to come in just a few seconds. But James, you see Donovan, your pal. You've probably gone through marathons of like Shaw Brothers classics, and he's here at the party.
Hey, what do you made to the party?
Tran, what are you doing here?
You've been here.
What are you doing here, dude?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. You gotta check this shit out.
What are you talking? Is this some kind of like weird like?
No. This is nothing like I've talked to you about before.
Anthony's like, Donovan, you got to tell him about like the dice and like the Grim Huntsman.
What is he talking about?
You know these guys got connections, but Anthony, he gets like the most amazing games that won't show up at an arcade. And dude, I think there's magic involved.
Wait,
Gregory's like, that sounds like some nerd shit.
yeah, no offense there, Tran, but
Like magic? Walter, you're a weirdo. You know anything about this?
hey, Walt, you
Oh, didn't know it was there. My bad.
hey,
So, what exactly are you guys going on about? Magic?
Look, there's games, and then apparently there's this game which you should not have a hold of, but he got a hold of it.
Called Oswald Bueller's Shadow Sentinels.
So Oswald Bueller's Shadow Sentinels, man. And then I'll give like the tagline of the game. You know, I'm sure it's something like when reality, or something when like magic breaks reality or something like that.
Oh, totally.
There's stuff in here about Abraxas and all these other like beings and names that have come up.
Where's this
First
game
roll?
right now?
I rolled 3 6s.
Donovan,
And apparently
Donovan.
there's this thing called the Grim Huntsman.
And this is just when Miss Tara and Judith come inside.
Oh, wait. Why's the counselor here?
Yeah, and Gregory's like, yeah, Miss Tara, I'm super sorry, but I don't really remember inviting you.
Well, that's because I wasn't invited.
There
Okay,
was I,
so,
but I'm still here. I thought it was an open invitation, Gregory.
By the way, right now she's not dressed in her school outfit, so she's wearing a denim jacket and denim pants and has a Dead Kennedys t-shirt on.
That is a pretty cool outfit, though, I gotta say, Miss
Oh,
Tara.
it is, yeah.
Thanks. Now, as a member of the school, I do have to say you need to shut it down.
Oh,
come on.
Judith. I mean, why'd you bring her here? And Judith's like, I'm so sorry. I think she's right though. We should all like get out of here. I get the feeling something terrible is gonna happen if we stay.
Okay, what is with this whole? Everyone's talking about weird stuff going on. Like, what is going on?
Look, Miss
Yeah.
Tara, I wasn't doing anything. I haven't had a drink, swear to you. Haven't even eaten anything here, which I'm pretty hungry. But we were just upstairs playing a game. That's all we were doing.
Donovan,
And
where
like,
is
it was a
this
totally
game?
normal game. It was not a role playing game. It was Monopoly.
No, really, where is the game? I think that might be what's giving off these readings.
And the Judith had said something about having to stop a game. Am I right or am I misremembering that?
No, she didn't mention anything about a game. She just said like she had to be there to stop something terrible from happening.
Walter, you know how we've discussed your interests before? I think Judith has some very similar interests to you that are very pressing at the moment.
As in readings from this Abraxas thing.
If a
Judith's like, well, I don't know what that is, but I have.
All right. At the mention of Abraxas, she flies into guidance counselor mode. Okay, everybody, y'all need to get out of here. I'm going to be calling your parents, except for you, Walter, you, James, and you, Donovan. We're going to need to discuss things at greater detail, and obviously the boys that live here.
Seriously?
Well,
Man.
just as you say this, something else happens.
Okay.
Lightning flashes outside, and the front bay window shatters. Outside, the streetlights flicker and then vanish, capturing a hulking figure with something long and shimmering in its hands. Then darkness.
Or
the
maybe
carpet-
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I'll just finish this real quick here, and then I'll there's some quick information I got to share with you guys, and then we'll get into the action here. On the carpet by the Naugahyde furniture lies the severed head of the Easter Bunny decoration. Its big eye staring at nothing as the mechanism in the neck spills outward. For a moment before the screams start, there's silence. Then glass shatters. Rain rushes through the gap as lightning crackles in the sky once more. You see him, the bloody buck, a stained Letterman jacket, gloved hands bearing a fire axe with a lethally sharp edge, and the mascot's head, a stag's head. Bizarrely realistic, with dark eyes, dark muzzle, and antlers angled upward. The bloody buck closes in, taking the axe in both hands. Party time's over. Now the hunt begins. All right, now I'm going to also send you guys the information for the powered character for this arc, which is Judith Cordero.
Uh,
Can I say what Ms. Tara was going to say?
Oh, yes, please.
Because it would have been before the head rolled in.
Oh,
too.
yes. Sorry if did I step on your line?
You did, but that's
I'm very sorry.
like at the first appearance of the bloody buck, she was at change of plans. I'm not calling your parents. Everybody get to a safe spot.
I mean, I think she'd say that, yeah, as soon as like it's coming in, so
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, so I gave so Judith she's got 8 character traits there, so you get 2 character traits
Mhm.
per person to kind of control. Well, I'll control her as well. We'll kind of divvy that up. And then she has 4 powers. I put able to see glimpses of the future, which like, oh boy, why'd I do that? Great idea, Michael. But we haven't done a prophetic character before, so I want to try that. Able to control fire telepathically, control the weather, and then communicate with animals. It's interesting that Miss Tara is like all those pets too. I think that's a cool twist to it.
Yeah, I'll say that I'm taking loves animals, and I'll take very intelligent, loves animals, and able to communicate with animals if people are cool with that. It seems to align with my character, so it'll be easier for me to remember. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eh,
That sounds fine to
Um,
me.
if I take anything, it will probably be sarcastic.
um,
Sarcastic and maybe good sense of humor.
I'll take.
I like that. So just go ahead and mark down the personality traits.
Yep.
And the power that you've selected there.
2, 8, and fire.
Okay.
So impulsive, concerned with others.
Sarcastic, good sense of humor, and anybody be able to control the weather? Or shall I take that?
None of us took
I
it.
have. That's one of the ones that are open.
I think the 2 that are open are
Are
weather and glimpses
weather
of the
and-
future.
Yeah.
prophecy.
Both are pretty cool.
I figured
wait.
that speaks with animals would be low down on any of the rest of your priorities, so
I mean, it's got its charms. Anybody who knows the classic Speak with Beasts in D&D knows
Actually.
how useful that is.
Actually, if I could I just take see glimpses of the future? I just think that would
Sure.
work so well with sarcasm and humor.
Ooh, I like it.
So I'll take that one. And not
James,
the
you
weather.
okay with weather control?
That's okay
Sure.
with you. Sure.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
Always a good day for a game when Judith is around.
All right, so that means that I would be taking the creative and thinks that they are being pursued by a cult.
Hmm. All right, so go ahead and mark down your the traits and the power, and then I think sadly Miss Tara is the one closest to the door.
yeah, that would be expected.
Yeah, though I mean it's also good, if you're the
No,
adult.
she would step in front of all the students to let them get away.
Yeah,
right? So-
absolutely. That's definitely a teacher's. Teachers, you got to keep the students safe always. All right, so this axe wielding monster is heading straight for you. So Miss Tara, what do you do? Maybe what do you think Judith would do too, if you
I don't
if
think
you want
that,
though, or just focus on Miss Tara maybe.
I don't think that I have the Judith traits that would dictate what Judith does,
Okay.
because I have her intelligent and loves animals and can
Right.
speak with animals, and none of that applies here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if somebody else wants to dictate something Judith does, that's fine. But Ms. Tara is basically standing between this monster and the kids. She's just gonna
Okay.
bravely stand there.
Right.
While the kids can get away.
Okay. Is she going to like try and? You can see so he closes in. He pulls back the fire axe. He's gonna try and take a swing at you.
Okay.
Are you
I
just
mean,
gonna
she's
like?
not trying to get out of the way. So
Okay.
she's, I feel like this is a grit thing, and that's what she's doing.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll grit.
Hmm.
I do not want to. Is this the end of Miss Tara in the first episode? Let's
Oh,
hope
that's
not.
a 16.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So somehow you resist this attack. What do you think she does?
Sure. So I think basically the axe comes towards her, and I don't know if she ducks it necessarily. I think, what is it using, an axe or a scythe, or
It's like a fire axe.
it's a fire axe? Yeah, I think that basically she grabs like something that's like a wooden knickknack off of one of the nearby tables and just kind of like jams it up in there.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. You
Before
know, there's a lot of wooden knickknacks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a tray. Or I'm trying to think of a cool. It's like
Yeah, you know what? It's a TV tray.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yes.
That's like very 80s. So
Yeah.
she like grabs
Alright.
the TV tray and it goes like, "Tong!" And then there's like the axe is just kind of stuck into the TV tray.
Ooh,
And
you
he's
can
having
see
a hard
it's
time
like,
pulling it out.
oh yeah, so it's like wedged through. You can see the edge
Yeah.
of the blade poking through, like
Yeah.
right near your face.
Yeah, and she like turns around and yells at the kids like, "You need to run now."
Yeah, definitely a lot of kids are running.
Okay.
But let's check in on maybe some of the ones who aren't. Walter, what do you do?
Walter came here on a mission, and he's going to find the source of that energy he read. And everyone was mentioning this game, so Walter's going to try and find that game. Maybe that's the
okay.
reason why this thing showed up.
All right. So you following thanks to that great roll you got earlier, you're able to like, use the Abraxas simulator really easily. You rush up, and it you see the pieces, the board, and the dice for Shadow Sentinels laid out in Anthony's bedroom.
I think I may owe Nancy Reagan an apology. But yeah, Walter's going to try and see what the relation between this and that Axeman downstairs is. And maybe
Huh.
there's something he can do to stop it.
Okay, give me a brains roll.
There we are. 6.
Okay. So I would say you're able to piece together there may be some connection between this game and like reality, and that you could perhaps use the dice at some point to cast spells. Yeah. Shadow Sentinels, it definitely like D&D is not really, you cannot actually summon demons through D&D. Whatever, unlike what Jack Chick and Darkest Dungeons would have you believe, but Oswald Bueller's Shadow Sentinels is definitely an occult game that is really occult. So though it's a good occult, it's a tool for defeating evil, not summoning the evil. You are able to figure that out, but you're not quite sure like what dice to roll that would banish the Grim Huntsman.
Well,
You are like you do see the book open. You're pretty sure this is the Grim Huntsman, which is like the Earl King, another emanation of Abraxas.
don't know what dice to roll. Do I see the 3, 6, 6, 6s?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's try this out. I know it works, so maybe I'll get something good. And Walter casts the die, and we move on to someone else's turn.
Ooh, all right. Let's check in with Donovan and then James. All right, so Donovan, right now and also all you guys are in control of Judith at this point. You can use her powers as well. So right now the Grim Huntsman, the Bloody Buck, has the axe slammed through this wooden TV tray that Miss Tara is bravely holding up. And you can tell he's like wrenching it back and getting ready for another swing. So what does Donovan do?
Donovan will first look for a point of like weight leverage. He'll try to see if he can jump on on furniture and then leap off of that to like kick the Bloody Huntsman, because he knows that he's probably smaller than this thing, so he's got to throw as much leverage towards it as possible, which hopefully will also separate the two of them. And
Ooh, I like it. Using math to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would this be a fight roll, you think?
I mean, like I said, he's trying to sort of like, get up so he can basically leap. So if it's not fight, I'm not sure what else to. It could be.
Fight is good.
It could be possible brains because I'm calculating it, or maybe a brawn.
Okay.
I don't know, but
Let's
I was trying to fight. I was trying to fight him. Yeah.
Okay.
19.
Whoa. Yeah, this is a very good success. You so how does it look like? Like, what do you? Maybe you jump on the couch and then what do you do?
I'm gonna say that I jump onto like maybe like a TV like counter or something like that, go up against the wall and literally like leap off both feet forward. Full weight.
Oh yeah. So you like careen into the bloody buck. He like crashes down. He kind of falls into the couch. He wrenches as he goes down. He like his axe kind of wrenches out of the TV tray, but he like is collapsed there on the couch. All right, James.
All right.
The bloody buck is momentarily stunned. Miss Tara is saved. What does James do?
James seeing his buddy Tran do this sick ass move and just like, oh, all right, we're see if I can take out this bloody buck and maybe get some clout out of this. And he's going straight for him, seeing if he can like just wail on him.
Oh, you're just gonna start punching him?
Oh yeah.
Oh, great. I mean, I always in the slash movies, let's just punch Jason Voorhees, see what happens. All right, go ahead and roll fight.
Not that smart.
Yeah.
He's also reckless. So that would be a 10.
Okay.
Kitty.
So you actually do okay. Like you kind of put him you're able to like, how do you think you fight him? Just like random blows, or you like going for a certain...
I think if he's not completely to the ground, James will just sort of like James just rushed him and tackled him to the ground and just like did like the whole like knees to the arms kind of a thing, just is wailing on him in his like.
Okay. So you're like swinging down, and it feels odd. Like you've probably been in a few fights, maybe not super recently, but when you were in like junior high, I'm sure you got, so there were some throwdowns after school, and so you've like you know what it feels like to punch a human, and this doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's more the deer's head is more spongy. I mean, it's a mascot head, but you expect it to be some bone or flesh behind it. It just feels like kind of a weird spongy material. But you can tell that your blows are at least, if not really damaging it, they're at least holding it in place.
Okay.
So you're swinging down, you pinned it. The buck is like trying to shift its axe around to bash you with the handle or the blade. And then Brimson Walter's dice roll kind of goes into effect. And James, a wind rushes past you. It does knock you off, and it like shoves the bloody buck kind of back upwards and towards the window. So now he's kind of like frozen in that bay window there. Let's check in with Miss Tara at this moment, who and a pretty intense experience.
I'll tell you right now, I really wish I had taken control of the weather because I have something badass that I would do with it right now. But
Well, you could always suggest it to.
Feel free to suggest what.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does
got-
have
he
she has
just got-
7
he
out of
just got
7
shoved.
psychic energy tokens.
huh?
He has
just got
7 out of 7 energy tokens.
Yeah.
Since he just got shoved into the window and there's a storm outside, I'm thinking either A, lightning bolt, or B, and this is the really crazy one, the bottom of a tornado funnel just sucks him out. Those are the two things I'm thinking. I don't know. He's next to the window. It's control weather time. Whoever's controlling
Yeah.
the weather, it's probably a good
Yeah.
time to do it.
Sure.
As far as Miss Terra, she's gonna try to just like flip a couch to like sort of make a bigger obstacle for him to like if he starts chasing the kids again, if that makes sense.
Hmm. All right, so Nick, are we going with the weather control there?
Yeah, sure. I think. So Judith is sort of still unsure about her abilities, right?
Yeah, this is the first time she's ever used them.
Okay. So I
guess
think
besides
she would.
the promising a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like she would be sort of hesitant to go far enough to do a twister. So I think she'd just be like, okay, he's close to the window, so I think a lightning should be able to hit him. I'm trying to be a little bit creative with it as well, which is part of my thing. So just a lightning strike just cracks in.
Okay, so this lightning like sears down. How do you think Judith like looks when she's causing this lightning to descend?
Do I want to go full storm?
I mean, it's the right era for that. I
Yeah,
think.
it is. Yeah. I think like for a little bit, like right before the lightning hits, she just starts. There's like this, like, almost like. It almost looks like the wind is blowing through her hair, and like she starts to raise up just a little bit, and like there's like little sparks of electricity like coming from her eyes, and then it just.
All right, so the lightning smashes into the bloody buck, slams it through the window. It falls onto the big lawn outside. There was a humongous burst of like darkish smoke veined with green, and then it boils up and fades away and is gone. Judith is like staring at her hands in disbelief. And then Donovan, you see a limousine outside. You have a good view of it through the broken window.
Who could that be?
All right, so
I'll even like point it out.
yeah, so everybody looks out. You see this limousine. A dark limousine sits perched on a curb, a true luxury vehicle with tinted windows and gilded hubcaps. One of those windows is down. For a moment, you catch a glimpse of the guy inside. Slicked back hair, a pinstripe shirt and suspenders. The yuppie uniform. You've seen him before on local TV commercials. It's another jolt of the odd, a face from television there in front of you. Then the windows roll up and the limo speeds away, revealing a vanity license plate. Blix Pix. That's BLIXPIX. And with that, with Blix Pix vanity license plate limo zooming away into the darkness, I think that's the perfect place to bring this episode to a close.
All right.
You've met some new characters. They sort of were friends. They survived an encounter with a monstrous slasher type villain, and maybe got a clue to whatever is causing this.
Yeah, well, if Miss Tara wasn't like so freaking brave, I don't know if Donovan would have like really tried what he had been practicing for so dang long, you know. Just but he saw that and just was inspired. That was great.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's-
James was planning on tackling that dude anyways.
that's
I was very surprised it worked out for you.
Ms. Terra is very different than the other characters that I have. She's not violent, but she is brave.
Nice.
Like her
Ooh.
grit is 20, her fight is 4.
You don't need to be violent to be brave.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
All right.
Also-
Well, next time.
Also, Walter is going to steal that game if he can.
Oh, yes.
Take it back to the dock.
All right. Well, we'll do a little bit of checking, a little bit of researching, and seeing what exactly this Blix character is up to. Maybe some of his connections to what went on that night, and also, I should say, some other big events are coming up. The annual field trip to Splashtown, New Jersey, is very soon to happen. And then, of course, the spring formal, the Sadie Hawkins dance, is also on the calendar. So with those big academic events, all that stuff and more to look forward to as this arc, this 80s arc of Strange Generations continues.
Eh.
Dude, that's awesome. I was waiting for, what was it? It was called Shadow Sentinels, right?
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody like, I don't know. It was just, I was waiting for a Jumanji occurrence to happen.
It popped in my head.
Yeah, right. I was like,
That would be too
oh,
long, wouldn't it?
it was
Yeah.
so cool though. And I almost wore my
Yeah.
I forgot that tonight was the 80s arc, so I almost wore like the Death Save shirt that says Satanic Cult. I'll wear that next week. You know, the news article one.
Nice.
Because I almost wore that today too. And I was like, but I got my Strange Generations and it's clean. So I wore that instead. Also,
Good choice.
we did have somebody hopping in there, of course. Gray Mouse, thank you for hanging out with us. We love hearing from
Hey,
you,
Gray
seeing you in the
Mouse.
chat, and feeling that old is totally fine. Because I do remember Polythedral Dice did come in some of the sets for D&D. I can't remember if there was a beginner set back in the early 80s. I don't know if it was the
You know, when it was brought up, I went ahead and researched it, and yes, it did come with polyhedral dice.
Yeah.
He got them from an educational supply company.
because I remember they were I think you had to like actually color the
Yeah,
numbers
they
in
were
it.
colored
though.
red and green.
Yeah, but you had to like the colors you didn't have like black 4 on a red die. You'd had to like color that number in, if I remember correctly. But I didn't get my hand on like one set until I was much older because, again, where I was brought up, it was the devil to play that game. So I appreciate this era for that reason when we have that D&D-esque idea, Michael, so that it brings me back to those days where I was not
thank
allowed
you.
to play this game. I was allowed to watch the cartoon, but I wasn't allowed to play the actual game. So, which is weird. So, thank you so much, but thank you, Grey Mouse, for bringing that up. Made sure to tell us that they were available in the late 70s, and then feeling old's okay. That just means we're still alive, right? And we've experienced some crap. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you for this episode. We'll see the next two coming out in the next 2 weeks. We're going to go for it. But until then, let's make sure and pull up a chair and make time to tabletop.
tabletop.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.